What's up, YouTube? Bold and Understanding back with a video. I want to touch on this stuff out here when it comes to Terence Crawford, right? It almost seems like every time Terence Crawford has a big fight coming up, you have a lot of content creators. They like to make videos of the other guy that they support, and that's cool. That's cool. Support your guys. You can take a free guy and everything else. That's real cool. I have no problems with that. But this is the problem I always have with. They all use the same damn argument. So when Terence Crawford, for all these years when he's trying to get a fight with Errol Spence, you constantly hear that Terence Crawford was rocked by Gamboa. He has no chin, he's chinny. And then they try to say the man has no chin because allegedly he got dropped by a meme machine, right? Whether if it was official or not, it was okay. When you go down, it's not like he was even hurt in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But this is where the confusion comes from, right? So when their favorite fighter gets hurt, or got knocked down, or got rocked, they don't mention that. Case in point, leading up to the Errol Spence fight, like I said, you always hear that Terence Crawford got rocked by Yuriorkis Gamboa and they fight, right? What they fail to mention is what was the outcome of that fight. Also, what they fail to mention is Gamboa at the time was a vicious puncher, and he knew how to punch between punches. He was a dangerous fighter. But that was the only time Terence Crawford had really got rocked in a fight. And not to mention, Terence Crawford actually won the fight in the same round by stopping Yuriorkis Gamboa. That's what really happened. But see, people, when you point out that Errol Spence been rocked by Emmanuel Larte in a fight he was winning, and he got caught in between punches, people try to ignore that, right?
Oh, that was different.
They didn't want to say Errol Spence got rocked. But the proof was in the pudding. It was right then and there. Nobody said nothing like that, but it wasn't like Emmanuel Larte was a huge puncher either. You know what I'm saying? So that argument got debunked. Then all of a sudden, Errol Spence gets rocked by your Dennis Ugas.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And the excuse that they used was, oh, well, the referee said stop because the mouthpiece fell out. Like, nigga, your ass got rocked, your ass got dropped, the ropes held your ass up. And even if the referee would have not had called that a knockdown, just like how y'all pointed out the whole meme machine thing, Errol Spence got knocked down, since we're gonna keep that same energy. But this isn't even about Errol Spence. Now, there were talks, for a while, that Terence Crawford and Canelo should be fighting each other. It'll be a big fight. And people, they talk about how Terence Crawford is 3 weight classes below Canelo, and look what Canelo did to Jermell Charlo, and he could do that to Terence Crawford and all the other stuff. And then people use that video that Timothy Bradley had recently come out with, by he saying he was picking Terence Crawford to outbox Canelo, and Terence Crawford doesn't even need a knockout to do it.
Uh-oh.
And I thought that was powerful what Timothy Bradley said, but you got to keep in mind that Canelo got outboxed by Dimitri Bivol, and the judges somehow, some way, still made that a closer fight than it really was. Because to be honest with you, I personally only gave Canelo Alvarez maybe 1 or 2 rounds in that fight, but the judges gave Canelo 5 rounds, and I don't even know where they got 5 rounds from to give to Canelo. So you got to look at that. Also, Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather outboxed the mess out of Canelo, and one of the judges had the nerve to give Canelo a draw on that card. Then when Canelo fought Erislandy Lara, in my personal opinion, I thought Lara won that fight. But one of the judges scored a freaking bogus card in Canelo's favor. I believe it was like 118, 110 on one of the scorecards. Nevertheless, Canelo won. You know, it was a close fight, but personally, I had Emerson Lara winning 7 rounds to 5, in my personal opinion. But they gave it to Canelo, and that's all good. You know, that's how you're going to score. And a lot of times when you cash cow, you get decisions that goes your way, even though it might not even been your best day, or the fact of the matter that people might have thought you lost and they still gave you the decision. Now, we done seen that throughout history with certain fighters. You know, popularity, win, sales, business, and all that other stuff. But going back to what I was saying earlier, some of these guys are saying, well, because Terence Crawford has been rocked by Yuriorkis Gamboa, you know, and weight classes and size matter, it's only a matter of time that Canelo will impose his size on Terence Crawford. You know, like I heard a YouTube channel say that, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it like this. Canelo was also bigger than Floyd Mayweather. And going into that fight, he actually rehydrated up to probably about 15 pounds or maybe 20 pounds bigger than Floyd Mayweather on the night of the fight. And Canelo couldn't even impose his will on Floyd Mayweather. And the fact of the matter, when you tell that to people, they come up with a whole bunch of excuses. They say, well, Canelo was young, he was inexperienced. I don't understand the inexperienced part, because he had pretty much practically the same amount of fights as Floyd Mayweather heading into that fight the night he fought Floyd Mayweather. But they, you know, they said he was too young, and it's kind of weird because they never said Floyd Mayweather was too old. They always said Canelo was too young. So this is the narrative they push. And this shit doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let me go back to what I was trying to say before I get off track. Everybody said how Crawford was hurt. Nobody said how Canelo's been rocked before.
Oh, that was different.
Do you see this double standards here? And no, I'm not talking about the racing. I'm just talking about from a fan perspective. They always say how Terence Crawford's been rocked by Gamboa, but nobody said how Canelo's has been rocked by Jose Cotto, I'm sorry. You know, that guy was even less of a fighter than Yuriorkis Gamboa. At least Yuriorkis Gamboa at the time was on a pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though Jose Cotto, you know, only reason why people know who he is because he's Miguel's Cotto brother. But nobody says how that dude had fucking Canelo on skates. He knocked Canelo ass across the ring and all that other stuff, right? So if y'all want to talk about Chinny, don't forget Canelo also had been rocked before. And not to mention, people get rocked in boxing. I mean, it's boxing at the end of the day. Somebody might get knocked out. Somebody might get hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? But people definitely want to get hit. That's what's going to happen. And, it's, you know, a lot of times it could be a good shot in there. But it's all about how you overcome. You know what I'm saying? Canelo overcame in that fight that he was rocked in. But again, people never mention how he was rocked against Jose Cotto. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The fact of the matter is this. I would like to see the fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. And if that fight doesn't happen, most of all, I would definitely like to see Canelo defend against David Benavidez, because nobody is saying anything about why Canelo isn't fighting David Benavidez besides the people that actually want to see the fight. But we know Canelo, a lot of diehard Canelo fans, I ain't gonna say the regular fans, but the delusional ones, they never mention Canelo should fight David Benavidez. They all talking about David Benavidez hasn't earned a shot, like as David Benavidez is just an up-and-comer or something. But anyway, that's all I got. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Watch it, Bold and Understanding. And on the end of that note, family, peace.